The story that I have for you today is a particular story that I have to kind of explain first. I have to kind of preface. I'm Filipino. I know I'm kind of standing up here miscellaneous brown, so I want to be sure. I'm Filipino, and every Sunday when I was growing up, my mother and my father would bring me to another Filipino household, and we would have mass at their house, and then we would eat food at their house. It was called a Santo Niño Mass, and we would have this like Santo Niño, which is like a little baby Jesus, and we would carry it to each different house all throughout the Chicagoland suburbs and all, even in Indiana, all throughout. We'd drive every Sunday, right? But on this particular Sunday, we were driving to Humboldt Park, which is a Puerto Rican, black, kind of sketchy neighborhood in Chicago, but I thought it was cool because I was trying to be a b-boy. Because I was like 8 years old, and I had my red and black Pumas, and I had just seen Breakin', and I was ready to battle folks, and I was all ready to pop lock, and I was so ready to be a break dancer on the streets of gritty Chicago. And as I was driving up to the Santo Niño house, in the parking lot of the school right across the street from the house, there was a gang of kids breakdancing on cardboard with a big ass boombox, just like in Breakin'. So you think I went to the mass, or do you think I went over to the breakdancing kids, right? So I went over to the breakdancing kids, and this blonde kid in particular, there were like a bunch of Puerto Rican kids, and then there was like 2 or 3 black kids, and then there was one white kid with blonde hair. Now, if you remember from Dave Chappelle's comedy, you know that if there's one white kid with a whole bunch of minorities, that's the one white kid you gotta watch out for, right? Well, instead of watching out, he was like dancing. He was like walking up to me, and he just started dancing. And he walks up to me and he says, "What you be about, bro?" And he just dances, and he starts dancing, and then he starts break dancing on the floor, and then he does a backspin, and then he sticks into like this pose. And I'm like, oh shit, am I about to battle this kid? So then I started doing my little thing, and then I jumped on the floor and I did my little, breakdancing thing, and then I spun and I finished with a backspin. And I was like, what? And then one of the black guys and 3 of the Puerto Rican guys started coming out and watching these 2 8-year-olds battle in the middle of this parking lot, right? So this little kid comes back and he starts doing this like thing with his feet, and he's moving like this. And I just remember, I was mesmerized by his movements. But then when it got to be my turn again, because he went like this and shit like this, and I was like, oh, it's my turn again. So then I started dancing again, and then more people started coming. So this whole breakdancing crew just started watching us battle because we were these 2 little short kids battling. And by the end of it, this little white kid who I thought was gonna punch me in the face gave me a little smack and gave me a little dap. He said, "You good, kid?" And I was like, "Thank you." And I straight up felt like Turbo from Breakin'. It was great. And I walked back to that Santo Niño, and I stood by my mom, and I finished praying the rosary, and I felt like a champion. And that's my story, guys. Thank you so much.